I don't get you sometimes, Emma said, leaning across the table, her fingers brushing mine. You act like money doesn't matter at all. I smiled a little. Maybe it doesn't. She laughed softly. That's easy to say when you don't have much of it. I shrugged. Or maybe that's exactly why I say it. She studied my face like she was trying to solve something. Daniel, you're different. I looked down at my coffee. If you only knew how different, I thought. I'm just normal, I said. That's not true, she replied. Normal guys don't think the way you do. Then maybe I'm just weird. I like weird, she said, smiling. That smile used to calm me. It felt real, simple, safe. I like you, she added quietly. I met her eyes. You already told me that. I know, she said. I just like saying it. I nodded, but inside, something always held me back from fully responding the same way. Not because I didn't feel it, but because I was hiding something too big. I have to ask you something, she said suddenly. Go ahead. Why don't you ever talk about your family? I froze for a second, then forced a casual tone. They're not very interesting. Everyone's family is interesting. Not mine. She narrowed her eyes. You're avoiding the question, and you're overthinking it. She leaned back, crossing her arms. Fine, keep your secrets. I gave a small smile. We all have some. Like you, she said softly. That hit deeper than she knew. Because my secret wasn't small. I wasn't just Daniel, the guy with a simple job and a quiet life. I was Daniel, Laurent, son of Victor Laurent, a man whose name opened doors I pretended didn't exist. I just don't like mixing past with present, I said. That sounds like an excuse. Maybe it is. She sighed, then smiled again, lighter this time. Okay, mysterious man. I'll let it go for now. Thank you. But one day, she said, pointing at me, I'm going to find out everything. I chuckled. Good luck with that. I don't need luck, she said. I don't need luck, she said. I have patience, and I have reasons. I thought. I didn't hide my identity because I was ashamed. I hid it because I wanted something real. No fake smiles, no forced respect, no one looking at me like I was an opportunity. Just something honest. And with Emma, I thought I found that. Hey, she said suddenly, breaking my thoughts. Are you free tomorrow night? Depends. Why? I want you to come somewhere with me. Where? It's a formal event, she said, watching my reaction carefully. I frowned. Formal? Yeah, just a small gathering. You don't do small gatherings, Emma. She laughed. Okay, maybe not small. But it's important. For what? For me, she said simply. I hesitated. I don't think I'll fit in. You'll be fine. I don't even have clothes for that kind of thing. I'll help you, she said quickly. We can pick something together. That sounds expensive. Stop worrying about money, she said, slightly annoyed. It's just one night. It's not about money, I replied. Then what is it about? I paused. Control, exposure, risk. Nothing, I said. I just don't like those environments. She leaned closer. Daniel, please. Her voice softened in a way that made it hard to say no. It matters to me, she added. I looked at her for a long second. Who's hosting it? I asked. A friend. What kind of friend? She smiled, but it felt measured. The kind you'll like. That's not an answer. You ask too many questions, and you don't answer enough. Just trust me, she said quietly. That word again. Trust. I exhaled slowly. All right. Her face lit up. Really? Yeah. She grabbed my hand, squeezing it. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, I said. I might embarrass you. You won't. You sound very confident. I am. Why? Because I know you, she said. I held her gaze. Do you? Okay, I said finally. What time? I'll pick you up at 7. Pick me up? Yes. You never pick me up. Well, I'm doing it tomorrow. That's new. So what? She said, smiling. People can change. Yeah, I murmured. They can. She tilted her head. You're thinking too much again. Maybe. Stop it. I'll try. She stood up, grabbing her bag. It's settled then. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I repeated. She leaned down and kissed my cheek. You'll look good, I promise. I watched her walk away, her steps confident, almost rehearsed. Something about that moment felt off. Not wrong, just different. I sat there for a while, staring at my reflection in the coffee. You wanted something real, I told myself. So why does this feel like the beginning of something fake? My phone buzzed. A message from her. Don't overthink. Just trust me. I stared at the screen. Then I typed back, always. But as I sent it, a quiet thought settled in my mind. What if trust is exactly what breaks me? You look nervous, Emma said as she adjusted my collar. I am, I admitted. This isn't really my world. She smiled, but it felt controlled. Just stay close to me. You'll be fine. I glanced around as we stepped inside. Yeah, sure. The place was overwhelming. Crystal lights, quiet music, people speaking in calm, confident tones. Everyone looked like they belonged, except me. You okay? She asked. Do I look okay? You look good, she said. Just relax. I feel like everyone knows I shouldn't be here. That's in your head. Is it? She didn't answer right away. Instead, she gently pulled my arm. Come on, I want you to meet a few people. I thought this was just a small gathering. She laughed lightly. I may have undersold it. That's one way to say it. As we walked deeper into the room, I noticed something strange. Emma changed. Her posture straightened. Her voice softened but became sharper, more precise. Emma, a man greeted her. You made it? Of course, she replied smoothly. I wouldn't miss it. I stood beside her, quiet. And this is? The man asked, looking at me. This is Daniel, she said. My boyfriend. The word felt real, but her tone didn't. Nice to meet you, I said. He gave me a Ewick nod. Likewise. Then his attention shifted back to her almost instantly. Like I didn't matter. Stay here for a second, Emma whispered to me. I'll be right back. Where are you going? Just over there, she said, pointing. Don't move. I wasn't planning to. She smiled and walked away. I watched her go, feeling that same quiet discomfort growing inside me. Something's not right. I moved slightly to the side, trying not to stand in the middle like an outsider. That's when I heard it. Her voice. Soft, low, speaking in French. I froze. Il est là? A man asked. Is he here? Emma replied calmly. Oui, juste là-bas. Yes, right over there. My chest tightened. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. She still thinks he's poor? The man asked, his tone amused. Emma let out a soft laugh. Of course, that's the point. My fingers curled slightly. What? I stepped closer, just enough to hear clearly, but not enough to be seen. He has no idea who he really is, the man continued. None, she said. He believes everything I tell him. My heartbeat got louder. No. He's perfect, the man said, close to the Laurent family without even knowing it. That name hit like a shock. Laurent, my name, my identity. He's exactly what we needed, Emma added. I felt something break inside me. Slow, quiet, sharp. And you're sure he won't suspect anything? The man asked. Emma sighed softly. He trusts me. Those words hurt more than anything else. He trusts me. Yes, the man said. Trust is always the easiest thing to use. I clenched my jaw. Just don't get attached, he added. We can't afford mistakes. There was a pause. For a second I hoped she would say something different. But she didn't. I know, she said quietly. Good, he replied, because once this moves forward, we don't need him anymore. Silence filled my head, not outside, just inside me, like everything stopped. I'll handle it, Emma said. You always do, the man replied. That's why I trust you. Trust. That word again. I stepped back slowly, my mind racing. This isn't real. This can't be real. I forced myself to breathe normally, to think clearly, to not react. Footsteps approached. I turned just in time to see Emma walking back toward me. Her expression was soft again, warm, fake. Hey, she said, smiling. Miss me? I looked at her, really looked at her, and for the first time, I didn't recognize her. Yeah, I said quietly. A little. See? She said playfully. You're doing fine, am I? Of course you are. She touched my arm. You just need to relax. I'm trying. Good, she said. Because tonight matters. Why? I asked. She paused for a second. Just a second. Because it's important for my future, she said. I nodded slowly. And me? I asked. What about you? Do I matter in that future? She smiled again. But this time, I saw it, the hesitation. Of course you do, she said. A perfect answer. Too perfect. Good, I replied. Inside, my thoughts were different. You're lying. Come on, she said, pulling me gently. There's someone I want you to meet later. Sure, I said, but I wasn't listening anymore. Not to her, not to anything, because everything had already changed. I stayed beside her. I smiled when I needed to. I spoke when expected. But inside, I was somewhere else, replaying every word, every lie, every moment. He trusts me. I glanced at her again. She looked perfect, just like always. But now I knew the long truth. This wasn't love. This wasn't real. This was a plan, and I was the easiest part of it. I took a slow breath. Don't react, not yet, because for the first time I understood everything, and that changed the fire game completely. Where did you disappear? Emma asked, slipping her hand into mine as if nothing had changed. Nowhere, I said with a small smile. Just trying to survive your world. She laughed softly. It's not that bad. It's not my style. You look good in it, she said. Yeah? Yeah. I nodded. Then maybe I should come to these things more often. She raised an eyebrow. Really? That's new? People change, I said. She smiled. I like this version of you. Of course you do, I thought. Come, she said. There's someone I want you to meet. Another important person? All of them are important, she replied lightly. Good to know, I said. We walked across the room and I kept my expression calm, normal, interested. Inside, everything felt different. Every laugh, every touch, every word. It all felt rehearsed. Daniel, this is Sophie, Emma said. A girl turned toward me, her expression soft but sharp at the same time. Hi, Sophie said. I've heard about you. Hopefully good things, I replied. She smiled slightly. That depends. On what? On how honest those stories were. Emma laughed. Ignore her. She thinks too much. I observe, Sophie corrected. I tilted my head. That sounds dangerous. It usually is, she said. I liked her honesty. Or maybe I just noticed it more now. Daniel's very simple, Emma added. He hates complicated things. Is that true? Sophie asked me directly. Yeah, I said. I prefer things that are real. Her eyes held mine for a second longer than necessary. Real is rare here, she said quietly. Emma waved it off. Don't start. I'm just saying, Sophie replied. I gave a small smile. I'll keep that in mind. We talked a little more, but I noticed something. Sophie watched me, not casually, carefully, like she was trying to figure me out. Excuse me, Emma said suddenly. I need to take this call. She stepped away again. I didn't stop her. Interesting, Sophie said once Emma was gone. What is? You? I laughed lightly. I'm not that interesting. That's what makes it interesting. I don't follow. She stepped a little closer. You don't belong here. That obvious? Yes, Then why am I here? That's exactly what I'm wondering. I smiled. My girlfriend invited me. That's the simple answer, and the complicated one. She studied my face. I'm still working on that. I crossed my arms slightly. Let me know when you figure it out. I will, she said. There was a pause. You seem calm, she added. I am. Most people feel uncomfortable here. I do. But you're hiding it. But you're hiding it. Maybe I'm good at pretending. Or maybe you're used to observing, she said. That caught my attention. Why would you think that? Because you're not reacting, she said. You're watching. I smiled faintly. You really do observe a lot. I told you. Emma came back then, saving me from answering. Miss me? She asked. Always, I said automatically. The word felt heavy this time. Everything okay? I asked her. Yeah, just a quick call. Important? Not really. I nodded. Another lie. Let's get out of here soon, I said. It's getting boring. She looked surprised. Already? Yeah. I've seen enough. Sophie glanced at me again like she heard something deeper in that sentence. All right, Emma said. Just a little longer. For you? I replied. She smiled, satisfied. I stayed beside her, playing my role perfectly. I laughed when she laughed. I nodded when she spoke. I even held her hand tighter at one point. But inside I was breaking. He trusts me. Her voice echoed in my mind. Every memory started replaying. The first time we met. Her smile, her laugh. The way she said my name. Now it all felt designed, carefully built, like I was never the point. Just the target. Daniel, she said softly. You're quiet. Just tired. From what? Trying to keep up with you. She smiled. You're doing fine. I'm glad you think so. I know so, she said. I looked at her, really looked at her, and I wondered. Was any of this real? Later that night, we finally left. The car ride was quiet. She leaned her head on my shoulder. I'm glad you came, she whispered. Me too, I said. That was the scariest part. I wasn't even sure if I was lying anymore. When we reached my place, she didn't leave immediately. She looked at me, her expression soft again, familiar, dangerous. Can I ask you something? I said. Of course. Do you believe in honesty? She smiled without hesitation. Of course. The answer came too fast, too clean, like she practiced it. I nodded slowly. Good. Why would you ask that? No reason, I said. Just curious. You're acting strange tonight. Am I? Yeah. Maybe I'm just thinking. About what? I paused. About how everything you said tonight was a lie. About life, I said instead. She laughed. Lightly. That's vague. I like vague. She stepped closer. You know you can tell me anything, right? I almost laughed. Almost. I know, I said. And for the first time, I meant something completely different. She hugged me before leaving. I love you, she whispered. I stood still for a second. Then I said it back. I love you too. The words left my mouth easily, but inside, they felt empty. As she walked away, I didn't stop her. I didn't call her back. I didn't question anything, because I had already made a decision. Not yet. I won't confront her. Not now. I need to see everything. I need to understand the whole truth, how deep this goes, how far she's willing to take it. I walked inside slowly, closing the door behind me. The silence felt louder than before. I sat down and stared at nothing. You trusted her. That thought stayed in my mind. But something else replaced it. Something colder, more controlled. For the first time, I wasn't her boyfriend anymore. I wasn't the guy who believed her words. I wasn't the one being led. I became something else, an observer in my own life, watching, waiting, And this time I wasn't the one being played. I stared at my phone for a long time before dialing. Didn't expect to hear from you. Adrian's voice came through, calm and sharp as always. I need your help, I said. A pause. That sounds serious. It is. And were you in trouble? Not yet. That's not reassuring. I need information, I said quietly. About two people. Names, Emma and Lucien Moreau. Silence. Not. Confusion. Recognition. That's not a coincidence, Daniel, Adrian said slowly. I didn't think it was. Where did you hear that name? I met him, I replied, at an event. And Emma? My girlfriend. Another pause. Longer this time. I see, he said. Do you? More than you think. My grip tightened on the phone. Tell me. Don't. I can't. Don't. I cut him off. Don't protect me. Not now. I'm not protecting you, he said. I'm making sure you understand what you're asking. I understand enough. No, Adrian replied. You don't. Not yet. Then help me understand. Silence again. Then, are you ready to hear something you won't like? I already heard enough last night. From them? Yes. In French? I closed my eyes. You knew? I suspected. That's not the same. No, he admitted. It's not. Adrian, I said quietly. Just tell me the truth. He exhaled slowly. Lucien Moreau is not just some businessman. I figured that. He's been trying to compete with your father for years. I leaned back slightly. Compete or replace? Both. Don't think it is. And Emma? That's where it gets complicated. And make it simple. She didn't meet you by accident. The words landed exactly how I expected. Heavy, cold, so it was planned. I said, yes. How long? Months at least? I let out a quiet breath, and I thought I found her. He did, Adrian said carefully. No, I replied. I was led to her. Haha, that's one way to see it. It's the only way that makes sense. Daniel, what was the plan? I asked. To get close to you, he said. Gain your trust. They already have that. Then the next step would have been influence. Over what? You, he said. And through you, access. And through you, access. To my father, yes. I laughed once. Short. Empty. The funny part is, I never even told her who I was. I know. Then how did they? Because they suspected, Adrian interrupted. You don't live like them, but you move like them. People notice patterns. So they guessed. They investigated, he corrected, and confirmed. Hinfrainant. Eventually, yes. I rubbed my forehead. So everything was calculated. Most of it. I caught that. Most? People aren't machines. Daniel, don't do that. Do what? Try to make this sound less cold than it is. I'm telling you the truth. Then tell me all of it. He hesitated. Adrian, I'm still gathering details. Tell me what. You have. Cash. Lucien set this up, he said. He needed a way in. Emma was the best option. Why her? She's smart. Convincing. And she knows how to build emotional trust. I closed my eyes for a second. She trusts me. Yeah, I murmured. I noticed. She played her role well. Too well. Daniel. Did she know who I was from the start? I asked. No, he said. Not at first. I opted my eyes. Then when? A few weeks in. So she kept going. Yes. Knowing exactly what she was doing. Yes. That word fell final. Sharp. Unavoidable. And Lucien? I asked. He's been pushing for faster. Results. Huh. Of course he has. He's not patient. But she is. He. Yes. I leaned forward, elbows on my knees. What happens next? That depends on you. No, I said. That depends on them. You still have control. Do I? Yes, Adrian said firmly. More than they think. I stayed quiet. Daniel, he continued, listen to me carefully. You can stop this now. By doing what? Confronting them? walking away. I shook my head even though he couldn't see it. No. Why not? Because I don't know everything yet. You know enough. Not for me. That's dangerous. So is trusting the wrong person, I replied. He didn't argue with that. What do you want me to do? He asked. Find everything, I said. Every detail, every meeting, every plan. And your father? No? You're not going to tell him? Not yet. Daniel, this involves him. I know exactly who it involves, I said calmly. That's why I'm handling it. He went quiet for a moment. You sound different, he said. I feel different. That's what worries me. It shouldn't. It does. I'm not breaking, I said. I'm thinking. That line is thinner than you think. I'll manage. I hope so. I don't need hope, I said. I need truth. You'll have it, he replied. Soon. I'll call you. And I.S. The line went silent. I lowered the phone slowly. The room felt heavier, quieter. I leaned back and stared at the ceiling. Emma's voice echoed in my head again. I love you. I let out a quiet breath. Was anything real? I whispered. No answer came. Only silence. But the real question stayed. Louder, sharper, more painful. I looked at my phone again. Her name still there in my messages. My thumb hovered over it. Did you ever mean any of it? I didn't send the message. Because I already knew something worse. Even if part of it was real, it didn't matter. Because the lie was bigger, stronger planned. I closed my eyes. And for the first time, I stopped asking what I felt and started asking something else. What do I do now? You've been quiet lately, Emma said, sitting across from me, her eyes searching my face. Just tired, I replied. From work? Something like that. She leaned forward slightly. You can tell me if something's wrong. I looked at her and almost smiled. If only you knew. I'm fine, I said. You don't look fine. I'll survive. She frowned. That's not funny. I wasn't joking. There was a pause. Did I do something? She asked softly. That question hit differently now. Before, I would have reassured her instantly. Now, I measured every word. No, I said calmly. Why would you think that? I don't know, she replied. You just feel distant. Maybe I'm thinking more. Life, I said again. She sighed lightly. You always say that when you don't want to answer. Maybe. She studied me for a moment, then forced a small smile. All right, I won't push. Good. That word came out colder than I expected. She noticed. You really are different, she said. People change. You said that before. And it's still true. I leaned back slightly, watching her, not as her boyfriend, as someone observing a pattern. I was thinking, I said. That's dangerous, she joked. Yeah, I replied. It is. She laughed, but I didn't. I might have a chance to work with a new client, I added casually. Her eyes sharpened for a second. Really? Yeah. What kind of client? Something related to tech infrastructure. That sounds big. It could be. That would contact. What contact? What contact? I shrugged. Just someone I know. She nodded slowly. That's interesting. It is. I watched her carefully. Every reaction, every shift in tone. Is it confirmed? She asked. Not yet, but it might be. Yeah, that's great, she said, smiling. I'm happy for you. Of course you are. Thanks. Do you trust this contact? She asked. Why wouldn't I? I don't know, she said quickly. Just asking. I trust them enough. She nodded again. I could almost see the thoughts forming behind her eyes. Tell me more about it, she said. There's not much to tell. Come on, she insisted. I'm curious. I paused, then gave her just enough. Let's just say it could connect me to some important people. Her fingers tightened slightly around her cup. What kind of people? The kind you'd be interested in. She smiled carefully. That sounds exciting. It is. Maybe I can help somehow, she offered. How? I don't know, she said. I have connections too. I know, I replied. That word carried more weight than she understood. Then let me be useful, she said playfully. I'll think about it. Don't think too long. I won't. We sat in silence for a moment, but it wasn't the same silence anymore. Before, it felt comfortable. Now, it felt calculated. Every second had purpose. Every word had direction. Daniel, she said softly. Yeah, I miss how you used to look at me. I tilted my head. How did I look at you? Like I was everything. I held her gaze. I still look at you, I said. That's not the same. Maybe you're seeing it differently. Or maybe you've changed. Maybe. She leaned closer. Did something happen that night? I met her eyes calmly. What do you mean, at the event, she said. You've been different since then. I smiled slightly. You're imagining things. Am I? Yes. She hesitated. Then she nodded slowly. Okay. But she didn't look convinced. Good. Let her wonder. Let her doubt. Let her feel uncertain. Because now I was in control. Days passed. I kept feeding her small details. Nothing real. Just enough to see where it went. And every time something leaked, Adrian confirmed it. Every piece of information reached Lucian. Every time, there were no accidents, no coincidences, only proof. You're distracted again, Emma said one night as we sat together. Am I? Yes. And maybe I have a lot on my mind. Tell me. I looked at her, really looked at her, and for a second, I saw the girl I thought I loved. It almost made me hesitate almost. I will, I said, eventually. She smiled softly. I trust you, she whispered. I felt nothing. That scared me more than the betrayal. Then she said it. I love you. The words were gentle, careful, perfect. I stared at her for a moment, and inside, one thought echoed clearly, you love the lie I gave you. But I didn't say it, I just smiled. I know, I replied. Not I love you too. Not anymore. That moment changed something final inside me. I stopped waiting for her to tell the truth, stopped hoping for it, stopped needing it, because the truth was already clear. And now, this wasn't about love. This was a game. And I was done being the one who didn't know the rules. You didn't answer my message last night, Emma said, her tone light but her eyes tense. I was busy, I replied. With what? Work? With what? You've been saying that a lot, because it's true. She leaned closer. What kind of work keeps you this distracted? The kind that matters. That's vague. I like vague, I said. She forced a small smile. You used to tell me everything. I used to have less to say. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It does to me. She studied my face again, searching for something she couldn't find. Are you hiding something? She asked. I almost laughed. No, I said calmly. Are you? She froze for a second, then shook her head. Of course not. Good, I replied. Silence settled between us. Not comfortable. Not anymore. So, she said, changing the subject quickly, that client you mentioned, any updates? Maybe, and maybe. It's still in progress. Can you be more specific? Why? I asked. I'm just curious. About my work? About your future, she corrected. I nodded slowly. It could connect me to some powerful people. Her eyes lit up again, but this time it felt sharper. Through who? She asked. A contact. Name? I shrugged. Not important. It is to me. Why? Because I care, she said. Or because you're interested. She blinked. What does that mean? Nothing, I said. Just thinking out loud. She looked unsettled. Good. Daniel, she said softly. You're starting to scare me. Why? Because I don't understand you anymore. Maybe you never did. That hit harder than I expected. She went quiet. Later that night, my phone rang. Talk, Adrian said as soon as I answered. I'm listening. It's confirmed, he said. Everything. I figured. Your information is reaching Lucien within hours? Every time? Yes? No exceptions? None? I exhaled slowly. Good. That's not a normal reaction. It is for me. Daniel, he said carefully, this is escalating. I know. Lucien is getting impatient. How do you know? Lucien is getting impatient. How do you know? He's increasing pressure on his team. More meetings, more risk. And Emma? She's slipping. I noticed. She's asking more questions, right? All the time. That means the timeline is shrinking. Good. I said again. That's not good. It is if I want them to make mistakes. You're pushing them. I'm guiding them. That's dangerous. So is underestimating me, I replied. He went quiet for a moment. Your father is starting to hear things, he said. I sat up slightly. What things? Rumors. Movements. Nothing concrete yet. Keep him out of it. I can't do that forever. You don't have to with that, I said, just a little longer. Daniel, I'm close, I interrupted. To what? To what? To ending this? There was a pause. I hope you know what you're doing, Adrian said. I do. I'll update you again soon. I'll update you again soon. All right. The call ended. I leaned back, letting the silence settle. Everything was moving exactly how I wanted. Faster, messier, closer to the truth. The next day, I saw Emma again. You didn't call me? She said immediately. I was busy. Again? Yes? With the same important work? Yes? She crossed her arms. You're shutting me out. Unfocusing. On what? Things that matter? I matter, she said. I looked at her. You did, I replied. Her expression shifted instantly. What does that mean? It means things. Change. Daniel, stop talking like that. Like what? Like I'm losing you. I didn't answer. Because in a way, she already had. I need some air, she said suddenly, turning away. Take your time. She walked off, her steps faster than usual, uncontrolled cracks, finally. Interesting move, a voice said behind me. I turned. Sophie. You've been watching a lot, I said. So have you, she replied. Occupational. Habit. You don't have an occupation that explains this. I smiled faintly. You'd be surprised. She stepped closer, lowering her voice. You're not who you pretend to be, are you? Her eyes locked onto mine. Sharp, careful. Searching. For a second, I almost told her everything. The truth sat right there. Easy. Simple. But then I remembered Emma Lucien, the lies. Who do I pretend to be? I asked calmly. Someone simple, she said. Someone harmless. And I'm not? No. What makes you think that? Because you're not reacting, she said. You're controlling. I stayed silent. You knew something that night, she added. I didn't respond. That's when you changed, she continued. I saw it. You see a lot, I said. I do, she replied. And right now I see someone playing a much bigger game than he admits. I smiled slightly. Maybe you're giving me too much credit. Or maybe I'm finally seeing you clearly. There was a pause. Should I be worried? She asked. That depends. On what? On which side you're on? Her expression didn't change. I'm on the side of truth, she said. Then you should be very careful. Why? Because truth tends to hurt people. She held my gaze. You're dangerous, she said quietly. Only to the right. People? He-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. And Emma? I didn't answer immediately. She made her choices, I said finally. And you? I'm making mine. She studied me one last time. Just don't lose yourself in this, she said. I almost laughed. Too late, I replied. And as she walked away, I realized something important. Trust wasn't just broken. It was gone. And I wasn't getting it back. Daniel, we need to talk. Emma's voice wasn't steady. That alone told me everything had finally caught up to her. I know, I said. She stepped closer. You've been distant, cold. I don't understand what's happening. I do. What does that mean? She asked. It means this conversation was always going to happen. Her brows pulled together. You're scaring me. Good. She flinched slightly. Why would you say that? Because fear usually shows the truth faster than comfort. Daniel, stop speaking in riddles. I looked at her quietly. No anger, no raised voice, just clarity. I heard you that night, I said. Her face froze. What? What do you mean? I stepped closer, lowering my voice. In French. Everything changed in that second. Her color drained. Her lips parted slightly, but no words came out. I understood every word. I continued calmly. Daniel, I cut her off softly. Don't lie again. Not now. I wasn't. You were, I said. You just didn't expect me to understand. She shook her head, stepping back. No, you don't get it. Then explain it. It's not what you think. That's interesting, I said, because I think it's exactly what I heard. Tears started forming in her eyes. I can explain everything, she said quickly. I'm listening. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I let out a quiet breath. That's your opening line. I mean it, she said. Things got complicated. They always do when lies are involved. Please, just listen to me. I am listening. She wiped her tears quickly. At the start, yes, it was planned. I didn't react, not visibly. You were supposed to be a connection, she continued. A way in. A way to my father, I said. She froze again. You know about that too. I know enough. Her voice dropped. Then you know I didn't know who you were at first. Has I? I know. And when I found out, it changed everything. Did it? I asked. Yes, she said. It made it harder. For you. For us. I shook my head slightly. Don't say us like it was real. It was real, she said quickly. Was it? Yes. Then why lie? I asked calmly. Because I had to. No, I replied. You chose to. She stepped closer again. You don't understand the pressure I was under. Lucien, I asked. Her silence answered for her. He's using you, I said. I know, she whispered. And you used me. Her eyes filled again. I didn't want to. Needed, yes, she admitted, her voice breaking. The honesty came too late. I was going to stop, she said quickly. I just needed time. You had time. I needed more. For what? I asked. To decide when to betray me properly? That's not fair. Fair? I repeated quietly. You want to talk about fair? She looked down, unable to answer. I trusted you, I said. I know. I defended you. I know I defended you. I know I believed every word you said. Her shoulders shook slightly. I know. And all of it was built on a plan. It wasn't all fake, she said suddenly. I went silent. That was the part I was waiting for. What wasn't fake? I asked. She hesitated. Then she said it. I didn't plan to fall for you. The words hung in the air. For a second, everything slowed. I looked at her, really looked at her. And I saw something different, not manipulation, not control. Something real, something broken. I didn't expect it, she continued. It just happened. I didn't speak. I tried to keep it separate, she said. The plan and my feelings. That worked well, I replied. I know it didn't, she said. I messed everything up. You didn't mess it up, I said. You followed it perfectly. No. She shook her head. If I did, you wouldn't be standing here like this. I exhaled slowly. Part of me wanted to believe her. Just a small part. But it was there. and that made it worse. Why didn't you stop? I asked. I couldn't. You could have. I was already too deep. That's not an excuse. It's the truth. No, I said. It's a choice you're trying to justify. She went quiet. I gave you chances, I continued. So many chances, to be honest. I was scared. Of what? Losing everything. I nodded slowly. And what do you think you have now? Her silence answered again. Nothing, she whispered. That's what lies do, I said. Tears fell freely down her face now. I never wanted to hurt you, she said. But you did, I know, and you kept doing it. I know. I stepped back slightly, creating distance. Daniel, please, she said, reaching out. We can fix this. No. The word came out instantly, firm, final. You don't mean that, she said. I do. We can start over. With what? I asked. More lies? No, with the truth this time. The truth should have been there from the start. Henny didn't have a choice. What I always had a choice, I replied. She shook her head, desperate now. I love you. I looked at her, and this time I felt it clearly. Not confusion, not hesitation, just clarity. You might, I said, but it doesn't matter anymore. Her face broke completely. Why? She whispered. Because I remember every lie. Silence filled the space between us. Heavy, final. And just like that, everything we had, real or not, collapsed. You should see your face right now, Lucien said, leaning back in his chair with a smirk. I think you'll see something more interesting in a second, I replied calmly. Emma stood beside him, her eyes still red, her expression unsure. What are you talking about? Lucien asked, his tone tightening. I didn't answer immediately. I reached into my pocket, pulled out my phone, and placed it on the table. Go ahead, I said. Check the latest message. Lucien frowned. From who? Someone you should know. He picked up the phone, glanced at the screen, and his expression shifted. What is this? He asked, his voice dropping. A confirmation, I said. Emma looked between us. Daniel, what's going on? I met her eyes. You wanted to know who I really am, I said. She froze slightly. Now you'll see, I added. Lucien's grip tightened on the phone. This isn't possible. It is, I replied. He looked up at me, suspicion turning into something else. What did you do? Nothing new, I said. Just stopped hiding. Explain, Emma said quickly. I turned toward her. You stood next to me for months, I said, and never asked the right question. I asked plenty, she replied. Not the one that matters. She swallowed. Didn't answer it. I took a small step forward. My name isn't just Daniel, I said. It's Daniel Laurent. The room went silent, completely. Lucien's expression froze. Emma's breath caught. That's not funny, Lucien said. I'm not joking. No, that's not. He stood up abruptly. You're lying. Check again, I said. He looked back at the phone. His eyes scanned faster now, then slower, then slower, then stopped. It's real, he whispered. Emma stepped back slightly. Laurent? Yes, I said. Her voice trembled. As in, Victor Laurent? My father. The silence that followed wasn't empty. It was heavy, final. Lucien laughed once, but it sounded forced. So what? You think that changes anything? Yes, I said. He shook his head. No, it doesn't. It already has. You've been hiding this the entire time? He asked. I was observing. Observing what? People who lie when they think they're safe. Lucien's jaw tightened. You're playing a dangerous game. No, I replied. I'm ending one. Emma looked at me, her voice barely steady. Why didn't you tell me? Would it have mattered? Yes, she said quickly. Or would it have changed how you approached me? She didn't answer. That's what I thought, I said. Lucien tried to regain control. This doesn't change the structure of what we've built. It does, I said. How? Because now you don't control the access anymore. He stared at me. You think this is over? I know it is. You're overestimating yourself. I'm not estimating anything. At that moment, my phone buzzed. I glanced at it. A message from Adrian. I looked up again. It's already in motion, I said. Lucien frowned. What is? Before he could react, his phone started ringing. Then mine. Then Emma's. Simultaneously, she looked at her screen, confused. What is this? She asked. I didn't answer. Lucien answered his call quickly, his expression tightening as he listened. What do you mean frozen? He snapped. Pause. What legal action? Another pause. His face changed. Completely. Emma's breathing grew uneven. Daniel, what's happening? I looked at her. Consequences, I said. Lucien ended the call abruptly. No, he muttered. What? Emma asked. They've cut off the accounts, he said. What accounts? She asked. Everything, he replied, his voice rising. Funding, transfers, operations. Emma turned to me slowly. You did this? I didn't need to, I said. I just had to be who I am. Lucien slammed his hand on the table. This is interference. No, I replied calmly. This is correction. You can't just collapse a company overnight. I didn't, I said. You did, the moment you involve yourself in something beyond your reach. He looked at me, anger mixing with panic now. You planned this? Yes. Emma shook her head slightly. This wasn't supposed to happen. Her voice was quiet now, almost fragile. This wasn't the outcome, she whispered. Plans don't matter when truth shows up, I said. Lucien looked around the room, realizing something had shifted beyond recovery. This isn't over, he said, but his voice lacked certainty. It is for you, I replied. Emma stepped forward slightly, her eyes fixed on me. Daniel, what happens now? She asked. I met her gaze. For the first time I saw it. Fear, not manipulation, not control, just fear. What happens now, I said, is exactly what should have happened from the start. She swallowed. And me? I paused. You're no longer part of the plan, I said. Her eyes dropped slightly. Not anger, not denial, just realization. Lucien grabbed his phone again, pacing now. I need to fix this. You can't, I said. I can. You already lost access. He stopped, because he knew I was right. The room felt different now, no longer balanced, no longer equal. The power had shifted completely, and everyone in that room felt it, including me. But I didn't feel victorious, I felt clear. For the first time, everything was exactly where it needed to be. You didn't have to come, Emma said, as she stood near the window, her voice softer than I remembered. I wanted to, I replied. She turned toward me slowly. No makeup, no confidence mask, no rehearsed tone, just her. Is this how it ends? She asked. It already ended, I said. She nodded slightly, like she expected that answer. I deserve that, she whispered. I didn't respond. She stepped closer, stopping a few feet away. I've been thinking a lot. About what? Everything, she said. Us. The plan. The lies. I watched her carefully. And I did use you, she admitted, her voice steady but quiet. At the beginning, that was the goal. I stayed silent. But what I felt, she added, hesitating, that was real. I didn't react, not because I didn't hear her, but because I had already heard versions of that before. This wasn't supposed to happen like this, she continued. I wasn't supposed to care. But you did, I said. Yes, and you kept going. She lowered her eyes. I know. Silence filled a space between us, not uncomfortable, just final. I tried to stop it, she said, more than once, but you didn't. I couldn't walk away. From what? I asked. You, she said softly. That answer lingered in the air. I lost everything, she added. I nodded slightly. So did I. She looked up at me, confused. You lost something. Not in the same way, I said. Then what did you lose? I paused for a moment. Time, I replied. Trust, the version of myself that believed people without question. She absorbed that quietly. I never meant to take that from you, she said. I know. She took a breath, her voice breaking just slightly. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. I held her gaze. That's the difference, I said. She frowned faintly. Difference? Yes. Between us? I nodded. What is it? She asked. You realized too late, I said, and I realized in time. Her eyes filled again, but she didn't look away. Do you hate me? She asked. I considered the question, honestly. No, I said. Her expression shifted, surprised. Then what do you feel? She asked. Closure, I replied. She exhaled slowly, almost like that answer hurt more than hate. I don't expect forgiveness, she said. You shouldn't. I just needed to say it. I know. She wiped a tear quietly. I'm sorry. I believe you, I said. She nodded, taking that in. Another pause. Longer this time? What happens to me now? She asked. You live with your choices, I said. She gave a small, tired nod. And you? I moved forward. She looked at me one last time, as if trying to memorize something she couldn't keep. Goodbye, Daniel, she said softly. I met her eyes. Goodbye, Emma. She turned away first, and I let her, because this time I didn't need to hold on, and she finally understood what it meant to let go. You leaving already? Adrian asked as I packed my bag. Yeah, I replied. Everything is settled? It is. He studied me for a moment, and they'll handle the consequences. Lucian won't recover easily. I didn't expect him to. Then continued packing. She'll live with it, I said. Adrian nodded slowly. You're not going to pursue anything further? No. Had not even closure? I already have it. He leaned back slightly. You sound different. I am different. Good or bad? Necessary. He gave a small smile. Your father will want a full report. He'll get one. You're going back to the company? Eventually. Back to the same role? No. What role then? The one I choose, I said. He raised an eyebrow. That's new. I've earned it, or discovered it. He replied. I zipped my bag and stood up. Both. He stepped closer, lowering his voice slightly. You handled this well. I handled the truth, I said. Same thing, he replied. I shook my head. No. Truth doesn't need handling. People do. He nodded at that. Fair enough. We walked toward the exit together. You ever regret not telling her who you were from the start? He asked. I thought about it for a second. No, I said. Why not? Because then I wouldn't have known who she really was. He glanced at me. And now you do. Worth it? I didn't answer immediately. Then I said, yes. We stopped at the door. Take care of yourself, Adrian said. I will. And Daniel? Yeah? Don't close yourself off completely. I looked at him. I won't. He nodded once. Good. I stepped outside. The air felt different. Lighter. Not because everything was perfect, but because it was clear. I walked forward, not looking back, not at the building, not at the past, not at her, because none of it could pull me in anymore. I got into the car, sat quietly for a moment, and leaned back. No calls, no messages, no noise, just silence. For the first time in a long time, it didn't feel empty. It felt mine. I started the engine and drove away. Not running, not escaping, just moving forward, away from the version of me that stayed blind, away from the lies I accepted, away from the need to prove anything to anyone. And as the road stretched ahead, one thought stayed with me, clear and final. Love didn't break me, lies did. I gripped the wheel slightly tighter and continued driving. Because now I knew better, and I wouldn't ignore the truth again.